Hi everyone, it's me Roselyn, and now I will discuss the step-by-step process for adjustment of status, work permit or employment authorization, and advance parole. So adjustment of status is the process that you can use to apply for lawful permanent resident status, also known as applying for a green card, when you are present in the United States. This means that you may get a green card without having to return to your home country to complete visa processing. And then an employment authorization document or EAD form I-765 or EAD card, known popularly as a work permit, is a document issued by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services or USCIS that provides temporary employment authorization to non-citizens in the United States. Sorry. And then the advance parole is a permit for a non-citizen who does not have a valid immigrant visa to re-enter the United States after traveling abroad. Such persons include those who have applied to adjust their status to that of permanent residents or to change their non-immigrant status. But if you apply for work permit or authorization or employment authorization and advance parole, you will just get one card. It is called combo card. So your work permit and advance parole is in one card. Okay, so don't expect separate card. Okay, so what are the process for adjustment of status? But make sure to have 2 copies of the entire package before you send it. This includes the money orders too. You want to have a perfect replica of the package you are sending in. All forms that you submit must be originals with original signature. Supporting evidence that you submit may be photocopied. Make sure to retain all original supporting evidence since the USCIS has the right to check them by issuing an RFE or request for evidence. If you receive an RFE, follow the direction exactly and make 2 copies of what you sent back. During any future interviews, the USCIS may also want to examine the original supporting documents. Okay, so first, you need to complete all your requirements for adjustment of status, for employment authorization, and for advance parole. And then after that, after you complete all your requirements, I have a separate video for all the requirements for adjustment of status, employment authorization, and advance parole. I will write down the link below of my video so you can check that. So after you complete all the requirements, you need to send it to you have 2 options: the lockbacks for U.S. Postal Service USPS deliveries, USCIS PO Box 805887, Chicago, Illinois 60680 4120, or for FedEx, UPS, and DHL deliveries, USCIS Attention FBAS 131 South Dearborn, 3rd floor, Chicago, Illinois 606035517. Okay, once you submit all your application, the next stage is the receipt of application. It is approximately 2 to 3 weeks after filing. If your adjust of status packet has been properly filed, USCIS will initially respond by mailing you a letter that confirms receipt of your application. The receipt letter is formally known as Form I-797C or Notice of Action and arrives approximately 2 to 3 weeks after filing. You will receive 3 notice of action for adjustment of status, for employment authorization, and for advance parole. And then after that, If your Form I-485 and related forms have not been properly filed, USCIS may send a notice of action to reject the application or may send a request for evidence that requests additional items. Either will significantly delay your request. So it's important for you to prepare the I-485 correctly and submit all the required documents according to the filing instructions. So if the USCIS, the one who's checking your application, is not satisfied for all the documents you submit, they will send you a request for additional evidence. So you need to wait for that letter. And also, if you check your status online, you can see the status is request for additional evidence. Okay, so save this letter. It contains your 10-digit receipt number, the I-797C or notice of action. You need to save that letter, and it contains your 10-digit receipt number. You can use this receipt number to check your case status, okay? And if you did not receive any notice of action, you can call the USCIS to follow up. What is the status of your application? Okay, and then after that, next stage is appointment notice for biometrics. That is approximately 3 to 5 weeks after filing. You will receive an appointment notice that assigns your biometrics appointment date, time, and location. The location will generally be the USCIS Application Support Center nearest you. So the USCIS requires applicants to be fingerprinted for the purpose of conducting a security clearance and criminal background check. So, but don't be alarmed, all applicants must have background checks. Generally, it's best to show up only on your scheduled appointment date and time, but it is possible to reschedule a USCIS biometrics appointment if necessary. You need to contact the USCIS where is your location for your biometrics. Okay, and then next, biometrics appointment, approximately 5 to 8 weeks after filing. The biometrics appointment, also known as a biometric screening, is generally a short appointment, approximately 30 minutes. It depends if there are a lots of applicants there, but approximately 30 minutes when you are the one that screening. Okay, it's only 30 minutes so that the USCIS can collect your fingerprints. Okay, and the USCIS will collect your fingerprints, photograph, and signature. Your appointment notice will tell you what you need to take to the appointment. Expect to take some form of photo identification to enter the building. So the USCIS can accept ID documents such as passport, or national photo identification issued by your country, driver's license, military photo identification, state-issued photo identification card. So when you go to your biometric schedule, you need to bring this identification and also the original biometrics letter. Okay, just take note that the biometrics is not an interview. The appointment purpose is to collect your biometrics information only. Okay, and then after that, one more thing. If you think you might have a criminal record, contact an immigration lawyer before going to a biometrics appointment. Some crimes will make you ineligible for immigration benefits. A lawyer can request a background check before USCIS does and deal with it necessary if you have any criminal records. But if not, you can go to a biometric schedule. Okay. And then after that, after your biometric schedule, you will receive NOAA 2 or I-797 Notice of Action if your application for employment authorization and advance parole is approved. That is a separate notice. You will receive a employment authorization I-797 or NOAA 2, and you will receive a letter advance parole I-797 or NOAA 2. Okay, and then after that, if your employment authorization and advance parole is approved, you will receive your EAD card or your work permit approximately 12 to 16 weeks after filing. If you also submit Form I-765 application for employment authorization and Form I-131 or application for travel document, when you successfully filed your adjustment of status packet, you will be receiving an employment authorization document or EAD. Many people call it work permit. The EAD and advance parole travel document are combined as a single card. Okay, with the card, you are considered an adjustment of status applicant who may work in the United States and travel outside the United States according to the criteria of the advance parole. Okay, so if you have your work permit and advance parole, you can start to look for a job, and you can go outside United States because you already have advance parole. Okay, and then after that, notice of interview approximately 4 to 10 months after filing. You and the petitioner will mostly likely receive a notice to attend an adjustment of status interview. However, it's possible that your interview could be waived, or USCIS may not require your petitioner to attend. Interviews should not be feared. Don't worry about that. They are a normal part of process, like the interview when you're applying for your K-1 or your spousal visa. That's the kind of interview. Your type of case will influence the decision to have an interview, but filing a well-prepared AOS packet with all necessary documents helps your chances. Okay, and then the interview notice will arrive by mail as another form I-797 or notice of action. The adjustment of status interview will be scheduled at a USCIS facility near you, and it probably will last less than 30 minutes. Okay, I have a tip. If you change your address after filing your Form I-485, you need to notify the USCIS within 10 days of your relocation by filing Form AR-11 or Aliens Change of Address. You also must call USCIS at 1-800-375-5283. I repeat, 1-800-375-5283 to change the address with your pending I-485 application. Okay, the next stage, adjustment of status interview, approximately 6 to 12 months after filing. If you will be attending an adjustment of status interview, it's a good idea to get prepared. Start by reviewing your I-485 and related forms. Be sure that you're familiar with the answers. Okay, there are several items that you should be prepared to take for the interview. A complete copy of your immigration petition and adjustment of status application. The USCIS officer will be reviewing these documents, so be able to explain your answers if necessary. Originals of any documents that you submitted copies to USCIS, such as birth and marriage certificate. advance parole document and employment authorization card if you have one, your passport which contains the non-immigrant visa by which you entered the U.S. And I have a tip: review the USCIS interview notice for a complete list of items that you should take to the adjustment of status interview. Okay, then after the interview, if you are approved and no request for additional evidence, you will receive your permanent residence approximately 8 to 14 months after filing. In some cases, you may be granted permanent residence at the end of the interview. If approved, your green card will be mailed to you. If your application is denied, USCIS will mail you a notice explaining the reasons for the adjustment of status denial. Once you have your green card, you no longer need the EAD card. As a permanent resident, you have the right to travel outside the United States and return with a valid green card. You may also use the card as proof of your right to work in the United States. So if you have your green card, then congratulations! Okay, tips: once your adjustment of status application is approved, you may ask to have an I-551 or stamp placed in your passport. This is a temporary proof that you are a permanent resident, is valid for re-entry at U.S. port of entry. But as for me, I did not do that. Okay. So after filing Form I-485 application to adjust status and related forms, the entire process can take anywhere for 8 to 14 months. The basis of your adjustment of status, example family, employment, etc., will be a significant factor. This is only a approximation. Okay, it may be shorter for some and longer for others. In some cases, USCIS will make a request for additional information or even schedule an additional interview. And don't forget, you can check your status online with your receipt number. So that is the process of adjustment of status, employment authorization, and advance parole. So as for me, I received my work permit 4 months after my application, after the filing of my application, and then my green card 6 months after filing my application. So if you have any questions, just feel free to comment on my video, and if you have any other topic that you want me to make a video, just feel free to comment on my video. And please watch my other video pertaining AOS, EAD, and AP. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe, and if this video help you, please click like. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.